Now, do I want that to happen? Absolutely not. I want us to go parabolic now. I want everybody to win. I want to see people happy that have been putting in work all year or the past 4 years to finally succeed in this market, because you deserve it. What is going on, guys? Kevin Cage here with another cryptocurrency update. We're going to be diving into the XRP price chart, a variety of altcoins during this absolute bloodbath, and I hope you stick around for this one. Okay guys, let's kick it off. So we are on the XRP price chart on the monthly, and I hope you walk away with some good information, especially if you're new to this market. So time and time again, like the adage says, in the cryptocurrency market, we have stairs on the way up, but elevators down. As you can see from the previous bear market when Ethereum finally started collapsing, 1, 2, 3, I mean, depending on how you count it, massive multiple drops. So that adage is still true in the crypto market. Now, since November 1st, altcoins, even XRP, have done terribly, but that does not take away from the future potential of these assets. Notice, from November 1st on the monthly price chart, let's say right up here, maybe $1.40, $1.36, from the wick, we're down about 50%. Now, current price is about 40% down. That's 79 cents today. Now, I'm simply waiting for a clear bottom, a clear retracement. I'm not going to try to catch a falling knife in this market until I can clearly see the next moves up. For me, though, this is a normal day in the crypto market. We remember back in December 2020, we had the massive SEC crash. We had the other crash, and believe it or not, we crashed then, just a couple months ago in July, all the way down to 50 cents. So as long as we are holding these levels and closing big candles over the lows of June and July, I still believe that everything's going to be fully intact. And no, it's not fun. It is never fun witnessing one of the worst case scenarios for the market that delays it. But getting it out of the way, ripping the band-aid off, definitely makes me feel better. All I do on my macro holds on assets that I believe in, some of which have years and years of historical data, I plot a Fibonacci from the swing high to the swing low, just a Fibonacci retracement, not even a trend-based fib. And as long as an asset is below the 236, which it is today, below 87 cents, I actually continue to buy in dollar cost average whenever it's possible, as long as we are below the 236 compared to the previous all-time high price. Now, frankly, most assets, if not all, are down below these levels still. And the reason being is historically, this has worked out for me over the past 4 years. So even just in this entire zone, and I know this is a giant zone, I will continue to buy because in my experience, assets will reach these golden extensions. Even Ethereum this year has reached the 3618, which is approximately almost $5,000 per ETH. If XRP does do that, and I know everybody's showing this, $11. Now, if you think that's too crazy, okay, let's cut it down. Either way, creating an all-time high in the future. So am I really losing? Are you really losing if you continue to take advantage of crazy dips and crashes buying the fear? We can see the fear and greed index is at 16. I'm assuming even when it updates in the next 5 hours, we're still going to be in extreme fear. And this is where the legends are made. This is where deca millionaires are made in the altcoin market. Was it easy buying these crashes? Never. Did I buy the bottom? No, never. But I got close. And my DCA for a lot of alts is extremely low. And I'm using XRP as an example. Now, just for a macro view, guys, we have Dogecoin, an asset that personally I've only held dust of. I should have bought it. I should have rode the meme wave. Never did. On this chart, from its all-time low, up almost 200,000%. I'm not buying that. I don't care if it goes up 5x or 10x someday in the future. I am not buying something that has gone up 200,000% because that is not sustainable for me. Whereas assets like Casper have only gone up 240% from its all-time low, compared to 200,000%. I've been so impressed with what I'm seeing with this asset. I want to keep sharing this one because it has not gone up yet. I'm not showing you something that's gone up thousands of percent yet. Friendly reminder for anybody new, I was buying Terra Luna at 20 to 25 cents, and I sold way too early. That would have been worth over $13 million today if I just held it. $13 million if I just held for just over a year. Really a year and a half because it was like May 2020. Polkadot made a similar mistake I don't want to talk about. Zilliqa did the same thing. So my experience is I'm going to be holding a portion for life. I hold a portion of XRP for life as it reaches those golden extensions. So imagine if you're in Doge, What if you're in an asset that is in accumulation right now and we are still waiting and you're buying in this area before it finally does climb up and break out of accumulation? Now, of course, I'm accumulating assets that I believe in that have fundamentals, that have strong funding, solid tokenomics, a real team that have been in development for several years at this point with some of the biggest institutional investors that are not just here to get an ROI, that are here to fundamentally contribute to Web 3.0. So this is why I focus on the macro. It's not to reassure myself. It's to stay focused so that I'm not emotionally giving up on my bags at all-time low prices. If you're in emotion, if you want to sell every time the market dumps, this is exactly what the market wants. This is what the market makers want you to do. They want you to be in a complete state of emotion so that you make decisions out of emotion rather than logic. So Casper, from its all-time high, this is a relatively new asset that has been in development arguably since 2014, 2015, by the way, for anybody that doesn't know. This is one of the best projects out there, in my opinion, that will be future-proofing the future-proof, just like King Solomon says about HBAR. And this asset, regardless of these temporary swings, will be here in the next 3 to 5 years. This is not get rich quick. This is for me to ensure that I continue to compound my wealth. Imagine buying Dogecoin in accumulation out here. Now, this can go for any asset. I'm just using Casper as an example because I'm very familiar with this project at this point. But now, notice that Ethereum was below the 236 for quite some time before going parabolic. Same thing, XRP, unfortunately, and most of this market is still below the 236. Do I believe that prices eventually reach these golden extensions? Yes, I really do. Let's see if my past strategy would have worked for XRP historically, from the swing high to the swing low, buying below the 236 and then finally shooting, reaching a 4.236 and then actually even beyond to a full 34. Okay, well, I'm doing the same thing again for XRP. And let's actually move this to a weekly price chart. I know I could just slap an ascending channel on this on the macro. I guess just drawing and looking at this overall trend. So I guess I'll use this wick, maybe the candle body there instead of that wick, and just see how this looks. Are we in fact holding? For now, yes. Now, can we wick below? Absolutely. But on the macro, I still do believe everything's intact. I know it's not fun. I'm right there with you, but I still believe we hold this trend and do climb up year over year. Now, for those that want to be rich next month and retire already, that's just not practical. That's not how this game is played. I came in this market for quick gains, just like most people. But then as you continue to take it seriously, you realize the best way to survive and thrive in this market is by focusing on the macro. We've been in this range for hundreds of days. The longer the base, the higher in space. Are we below the 236? Yes. And this is from the chart perspective. Of course, you can study the fundamentals across the board, even considering RippleNet or anything in between. But I just want to show you everything is intact. Is it fun that we get these giant crashes before they go on a big pump? No, it's not fun at all. I get that. But I try to see it as an opportunity. So with Doge, even using this previous high, from the high to the low, did we reach a 4.236? Yeah, and Doge is kind of an exception because it went above and beyond to the highest 34 extension. But did we reach a 4.236? Yes, we did. And this is a previous fractal matching that we did in fact see during the previous bullish cycles. And look at this, Casper, finally holding. I love this. I love this sucker. I know we've had some wicks, but overall, let's do the monthly just to show you an example at 18.4, 18.5 from November 1st. Let's go down to November 1st. We are still up, I'd say roughly 66% from that bottom of 11 cents. Now, remember, I was doing this recently, guys, and I've been buying Casper since the beginning of September, just along these levels. I even bought here. It crashed. I kept buying, holding, and then boom, we finally get the breakout. Now, this is one of those assets that is yet to reach those higher levels. And now we have Casper Pad coming out, which is additional demand for the network, deep within the UAE, just like Ripple and XRP. Also, guys, for iTrustCapital, tax-free crypto trading, it's now 100% free. There's no monthly fees. And this is the time when millionaires are made by starting an IRA or a 401k during these crypto crashes. I know I shared buying XRP on this platform at 22 cents as one of my last XRP buys, and the opportunity is there for this entire market. So linked in the top of this video description. And you also get $100 in free Bitcoin after you fund your account. I've had hundreds of people start an account with iTrustCapital. The feedback has been wonderful, and I've been using this platform for almost 2 years now. Linked in the top of the video description. Appreciate it, Ultra Seeker Chad, for the compliment. Here, this guy is the best gem finder in the community. He's been buying UOS Ultra, one of the best metaverse plays year over year, at 6 cents. I bought some. Guess what I did? I sold it too early now. It went over $2. But the thing is, this guy has been in the community for quite some time. He is secretly a super genius. Highly recommend it. Thank you for the compliment. I still make mistakes to this day. I do not consider myself myself a trader. I do macro swing trades when I'm in fact in profit. So I'm happy with Casper because it's up 60, 70%, and the rest of the market is down 40%, if not more. So I can already double my position by doing so. And I'm going to take advantage of it. But the goal is not to be perfect in the market. I am not perfect. I do not claim to be perfect. I've had more mistakes than wins in this market. But I want to reassure anybody because guess what? Let's say I've had 100 opportunities and the majority have been complete mistakes or misses, or I sold too early or sold at a little loss, which is pretty rare for me because I'm really stubborn. But I've had a few home runs. Those single home runs can turn 10K into 100K or 50K into $1 million. I did this with my own money before I even started Patreon. So I get some excuses like, oh, well, you make YouTube videos, you get paid, you do this. It's like, no, I did this before that. I just believe that you can come out with a massive win in this market if you keep your head down and stay focused. Some of you have done even better than me. So appreciate it. And guys, follow Ultra Secret Chad, absolute genius in the space. I also watched this interview right before doing this video. I always love Tony's interviews. Thinking Crypto, definite subscribe. Interviewing Mr. Real Vision Finance himself, Mr. Raul Pal. Now, he's projected, and this is not a moon boy, this is a macro investor worth 8 figures plus, and he overall still believes year over year that Ethereum will reach 20,000. He has some higher targets for Bitcoin. The point being is that I'm not worried per se if Bitcoin or ETH really reach those crazy high prices. I am buying assets that are below the 236 that have sound funding, that are backed by, Digital Currency Group, Pantera Capital, the biggest groups in the game that work retail investors day in and day out. So my philosophy is I continue to just dollar cost average as my assets are low, and when they finally pop, I can de-risk and get my initial investment out as it starts climbing and then begin staggering profits and then I try to hold 25% for life. So great interview, highly recommend it. Talking about the future of everything, and crypto is the foundation of this. If you only believe in crypto and prices going up, you're not going to make it. I was laughed at buying ALGO when it was at 30 cents. It crashed to 20. I don't buy the bottom. Today, $1.70. QNT, I was buying it at $3 to $5, not a lot the first time. I was buying it at $8, crashed to $2, went to $400 plus. Today, it's at $150. And I'm still going to be buying assets like API3 because I understand the vesting schedule. Once 2 years is up, boom, we're at $3.50 today. Ignore the noise, focus on yourself. Nothing great was ever done in the comfort zone. Even if we don't agree on assets, it doesn't matter. I miss plenty. I just want anybody new to know that you can make a killing in this market if you keep your head down and never give up. Also from Shir Khan, which cryptocurrencies are securities? Gary Gensler. Yes. And we do know that he has said good things about ALGO based out of MIT, also very tight with Ripple. And I believe that ALGO is going to be a survivor and thriver in the future. Just wanted to share this meme because it's hilarious. And also Gary Gensler's old MIT blockchain courses, I've watched hours of them. They're available on YouTube. And ALGO was one of the few that he actually spoke very highly of. So I pay attention to that. Curious to see the Twitter poll because I like gauging consensus. Okay, so it's when emotions are either euphoric or in all-time fear. Will Bitcoin pass $80,000 in 2022? Excited to look back at this. We have 43% that say no way. We have 56% that say yes. Time will tell. I do agree with Credible Crypto's analysis showing, now some people measure Bitcoin cycles differently. Some people measure the Bitcoin cycle from the halving date up until the top of the bull market, and other people actually measure from the impulse to the top. Either way, this is not debatable. This is not a marketing tactic. This is fact. Each cycle, whether it's 200, 300 days, then the next cycle is 750 days, and then the other cycle was over 1,000 days. Now we're passing that point of, 1,000 days or 1,100 days. This cycle will be extended just a tad because we've had roughly 3 different cycles, roughly 2 different cycles that say otherwise. So that's what I'm focused on, using the logarithmic chart, focusing on the Fibonacci. And I do know that 360 Trader also believes that this cycle could last well into September 2022. Now, do I want that to happen? Absolutely not. I want us to go parabolic now. I want everybody to win. I want to see people happy that have been putting in work all year or the past 4 years to finally succeed in this market because you deserve it. Then I'll be happy to take some time off. Because the happiest I've been is when I'm not interested in trying to chase and make as much money as possible. And funny enough, when I don't care, that's usually when I make the most money. And now, just like all influencers, including myself, are motivational speakers during the bear market, you can do whatever you want. If you don't believe it, you can sell. I'll be continuing to share my strategy on the macro. I'm not here to make quick gains. I'm here to make generational wealth. Now, If you truly believe in your investment, dips, even the crashes that we've witnessed, they should be seen as incredible opportunities. Now, do I always keep this happy-go-lucky attitude? No, not at all. But this is still valid. And this is where future millionaires and decamillionaires are made. If you fear them entirely, I still fear them, and it's not fun. But I do not fear them entirely because I see the opportunity within it. And if you do fear all these crashes entirely, you either don't know what you own, and most likely, as I said, this market is working you just as it was designed to. These drops happen because they work. There were too many traders that were over-leveraged 100x, standing with a crazy risk-reward ratio to make hundreds of thousands of dollars from a silly $1,000 investment. That cannot happen. Market makers will liquidate you. I've not traded leverage in over 1 year, and I'm so happy I haven't. Not that you can't. Maybe you can make a killing, but for me, I'm just comfortable doing my macro swing trades. So keeping you emotional rather than logical and patient. When in doubt, zoom out. Look at the macro price chart. I showed you Casper up only 250%. Doge, I'm not buying Doge, even if it goes up a lot, over 200,000%. I'm focused on buying as low as possible and trying to sell as high as possible. And you do not have to win every single one. You don't have to be perfect, but the goal is to be profitable long term. You're going to come back in a few months or even next year and say, I'm happy that I stuck with this. And those that gave up are going to call you lucky. This happened during March 2020. It happened during the lows. It happened in June and July. It's going to keep happening. And here's some perspective for anybody. Is your portfolio higher than it was last December? This is for anybody that's actually a veteran in the market that's been here for over 1 year. If you've just got in here in the past 6 months, there's plenty of hope. Focus on this. Is your portfolio higher than it was last December 2020? A lot of us that are now profitable or have made very good money, we're here in the early 2017 or even the second 2017 alt season, or even buying the top of the market, buying ETH at $1,200 before it crashes to $98. That's a rite of passage. Those are battle scars in this market. So is your portfolio higher than it was last December? 70% said yes. 70%. But guess what? We always want more. We're greedy by nature. It's never enough. You get that dopamine hit, you're going to want to keep buying. And even if you had unrealized gains in your portfolios at millions of dollars or your first 6 figures, and then it crashes 50%, that's painful. And I get that. Right there with you. There's parts of my bags that are down unbelievably, but I'm going to sell at a higher price. But I don't know about you, but I'm going to sell my alts, my assets at a higher price than they are today in the future. I buy below the 236 and I sell as they reach these golden extensions on the macro. It already reached a full 34 for Doge. Conservatively, we saw ETH and Bitcoin reach up here. We're seeing other assets. I have about 70 to 80 other assets, legitimate alts like ALGO, HBAR, anything in between that will be here in the future, have reached these golden extensions. So I'm not buying the top up here. I'm buying other alts that are maybe down here and they have tremendous upside. I'm personally not worried, but yeah, it's no fun waiting. And this goes for any altcoin, even outside of just XRP. This is the truth, and this is not meant to sound arrogant. Not everybody will be able to hold. Not everybody is going to be able to hold until those higher prices come. Some people will sell during bad pieces of news that come out or orchestrated FUD, or after an asset does crash 90%, they will sell at all-time low. And I will not be. I'm not buying the top of every market. I'm waiting and trying to buy as low as possible, as I showed you with Casper. So as I shared, even the Casper price chart, this is one of my biggest positions today. Along the 236, buy, 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 buy. If it comes back down, guess what I'm going to do? Buy. If I have funds. If not, I just hold. And I will sell at these golden extensions. If you think those are too conservative, you can raise it up to the 236. But either way, I'm going to be happy with even a 3 or 4x in this market. I don't want to be overly greedy, and I'd much rather walk away with wins than nothing at all. This is why I have a trading bag. I have long-term holds that I do nothing with, but I hope you guys understand even that 16x portfolio I did and showed you this year alone. Those are realized gains. Those are not imaginary gains. When the market comes back down, it doesn't matter because I already was up 16x. Now some, maybe they've done 50x. I have not. But I just wanted to show you this is possible. And now, as I put 50% in Casper, I actually did sell some, a small position. I sold some of it, put it in API 3, and then it dumped. But I'm putting it into Casper, and this is still up 60-70% at 18.5 cents to this day. Up 70%. Other assets are down 40-50%. I'm in a great position personally. Even if it crashes now, it's okay because I believe these higher prices will come in the future. This is what I wanted to share. If you're having a hard day, stick with it. Do what's best for you. Sometimes the best thing to do is step away if you can't handle these prices. For me, this is absolutely nothing compared to March 2020. I mean, even looking at HBAR's chart, just a sloppy ascending channel right here and just a bunch of trends, we can see, are we at a new low? No. Our old low back here was 13 cents set in June. Are we holding this level? It seems like it. I mean, we're going to see. I'm not going to try to catch the bottom. We did wick down here. Will we come to lower levels before finally blasting up? Because yes, I still believe HBAR goes well above $1. Are you really losing if you're buying an asset as it's below those retracements? We can even use this previous high from that low. From the high to the low, where are we? It looks like we back tested the 236 back at 21 cents right there. I bought some XLM at 31 cents, I'm down. I bought some HBAR at 28 cents and I'm down. But will I be down when I sell month over month in the future? No. People are acting like the sky is falling. Are we holding this low that was set back just a few months ago? We're still up exponentially year over year, and that's why I focus on the macro. And yes, I still believe that Casper is around this level, drawing a similar HBAR fractal, just like HBAR and a lot of alts are copying what Bitcoin and Ethereum did in the past. So I'm calm, I'm composed, of course a little impatient, because I want other people to have success, because I want to see the people that I know can have success. I do not want to see them get frustrated and give up at the worst time in the market. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, found it semi-valuable. I'm going to be doing another video if I have time, going over just the recent news across the board with the market. And we'll also be doing a live stream tonight for members to dive into everything and show you what I see specifically. Be sure to like and sub, and until next time.